Mike Andreula, he'll rock your world. Now, here's Mike Andreula.
Christy's uncle, Uncle Theo, was a madman. He was in Vietnam. He played football. He was supposed to die like 35 years ago. They put a pacemaker in. They're like, "There's no way you're gonna live."
It's too tough to die, though.
They had to change the battery in the pacemaker.
That's
he
a good
has
sign.
that crazy cardiomyopathy.
Oh, wow.
I think he's only left with like 20% of his heart function or something.
That's amazing.
But he refuses
20's
to.
enough. 20's good.
Yeah, he's like, that's plenty. I want that.
That man, there was somebody
crazy.
told me a story that this is how much badass he is. So he was going to a Clemson game. The South loves this.
Yeah.
So they go there, and somebody just stops him. I think Tanya was telling me this, and they're like, "Do you remember me, Theo? Remember me?" He's like, "No, I don't think so." He's like, "You saved my life in Vietnam."
Oh my God.
And so the guy's telling the story. He's like, I was out with everybody, and we got dispersed, and I was by myself for days. So he was trying to keep low profile, crawling back. He saw a road. He was crawling back to the road. And this is Daisy, starving, thirsty. His lips are cracked. He's barely alive. And somebody just pulls up in one of those little tanks, hops out, looks at him, grabs a six-pack, grabs the fire extinguisher and sprays down the six-pack because it makes it cold. And gave him a cold beer, and then took him back.
That's
I was
good.
like, that's crazy.
That's a good rescue. Because what's that guy really want right now? Moment? He's like, just give me a beer, save me.
It's like it's
Someone
real.
just came from having a beer right now.
He's literally wasting resources like
Yeah.
a fire extinguisher
Right.
and beer, and this guy's just hanging on to life.
Wow.
I love that story.
Wow, that's funny.
But at yoga, he does it, and I didn't believe until I saw it. Like, he is incredibly flat. I think this has a great part of why he's continuing to be so healthy.
He
Definitely.
says it keeps him alive.
I
So
think so
I'm
too.
sure
if
it
that's
does,
what he
yeah.
says, then that's what
It-
we'll go with it.
It's crazy how effective this has been to him with injuries, like falling out of helicopters, Clemson football. His body's banged up.
Sure.
And this is something that he does every day, and he talks to me about this, and I was like, I never did it. First time I did it back, we had it in like 97. We had power yoga, like a couple of classes. I took those, it was horrible. And I took your class, which was really hard for me. And now I'm starting to get into the group, but you can take it anywhere.
Sure. It's funny though because he's having the heart problems, having the breathing problems, so it's so effective for people in that situation if they can incorporate it into their life in a way that's going to actually make sense for them. Like you're saying, like he's having all kinds of serious problems. They're giving him no chance to live, but he's doing this practice that's keeping him alive, and doctors can't refute that. You see the proof is in the pudding, and if he puts the investment in his health of the practice yoga, it's going to obviously pay big benefits and big dividends.
Yeah, I was talking Kristen. They're going to hate this, and they're allowed to talk and give me this or that. I'm fine with that. The book I finished. Okay, I finished the book, guys. I listened to it. All right, I like to listen to it. Hunter
Finished
Motz,
either way.
check it out. Hunter Motz
Doesn't matter how you
graduated from
consume it.
Harvard. He's my friend on Twitter. He recommended a series of books. Okay, the next 100 years, this guy gives a prediction based on the past. If the past repeats itself, and it has up at this point, wars, countries, things like that. I'm just basically getting to the principle. In 2080, we're still fighting with people. Like, we have not evolved past that, and the only way to change that is for everybody to experience a conscious change. And I don't know any other way to do that besides sneaking it in via yoga, via working out, via some type of secret delivery method.
Yeah.
Where people, like, let's just calm down here. And I think that's a great way. If a lot of world leaders started the day with a practice that was like, let me just be grateful, let me not just react.
Certainly.
It would do. It's not going to happen.
That's the unfortunate side. It's probably not going to happen, but it would be great.
But I have visions of grandeur
Sure.
in my mind of creating a real deal, either such a strong block of we make so much money. Not that I drive it's borderline luxury vehicle, the Honda Element 2004, and I live in a tiny apartment. I'm pretty happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
When we take these resources and we really create change, that would be one way to do it, or start a compound in Costa Rica.
The compound's a good idea as well. Many people have gone that path. But, it's fun. You're right. I mean, that would produce a dynamic shift in the way the world operated if everybody did yoga or some kind of spiritual practice. I draw so much inspiration from the Dalai Lama, and he's so simple what he says. It's not about temples. It's not about, you're right, someone else is wrong. It's about simple gratitude, and how can we use gratitude to actually be an empowering force in our life. And you're right. I think that a great way to introduce people into whatever their path is going to be is to enter first through some kind of physical outlet. Whether it's working out or yoga, oftentimes students get to the practice by first feeling what it does in the physical body, and then from there it begins to seep into all different parts of their life. And I think that that's a great introduction. If we can get people onto the mat or into the gym or wherever they're going to go for that first experience of life in their body, maybe in a new way, from there, that place, oftentimes that can be a springboard for people to step into whatever is the next step on their own evolution. And it's different for everybody, but I believe that people have the innate ability to have and lead some type of spiritual life, whatever that means for you or anybody else. It's about an authentic experience, and everyone's going to be different, and that's a good thing. We're celebrating, not trying to be all into some cookie cutter, but instead to open our eyes to whatever is possible, whatever the potential is. And I think for me, in my experience, yoga has given me the gift to not be so narrow-minded, but instead to be able to expand it out and be open to whatever comes and whatever the experience is without any kind of judgment on it. And I think that we've seen guaranteed results already in a lot of school systems that are starting to implement not only meditation, but I don't know the name of the program, but it's basically 10 minutes of quiet a day in some schools in California, where from the kids to the janitors to the teachers to the secretaries to the principals, every single person in the school for 10 minutes a day is totally quiet. They don't mess with papers. They just sit there and be quiet. Doesn't have to be some prayer or anything else, but just a moment to shut off all the external stimulus and go inside and just be with yourself. And there's a great treasure that lays within. And I think that in our culture today, and the way technology is moving faster and faster and faster, our minds are getting more and more cluttered and more busy. We look at, I don't have children myself yet, but certainly will someday, and I look at kids these days, and 2-year-olds know how to work an iPad. And it's crazy to think about how fast we're asking these child's brains to process information when they're using an iPad or a video game or TV nonstop. And when we think about the history of humanity, that's never been the case. This is a brand new thing and a brand new experiment that we're trying. And I think we're seeing the results. I think we're seeing kids with a lot more problems sitting still. ADD, ADHD, these things are skyrocketing, and we got to think why. And it's got a lot to do with a lot of other factors and diet and a lot of other things as well. But just from the technological aspect of it, we're asking our brains to process so much more that it becomes harder to slow that down. So if I train my mind to be able to process 1 million images at once on an iPad and then say, okay, now turn this off and let me sit still for 5 minutes, it's impossible to ask these kids to do that. And we're seeing the effect of it in schools. But I believe without a doubt in 10 years, every school in America should have some kind of meditation program. And it doesn't have to be any kind of dogmatic or any kind of religious undertones of it, but just a chance to be quiet and to sit still.
Guys, you've been listening to Jay Karlinski, yoga extraordinaire. I don't want to limit you just by that. I know we have to do an intro. We didn't even do that. So, Jay, if you can just say exactly what you said, exactly the same again. Go.
Ready?
Jay Karlinski. Ooh, sorry. Adrian said.
Knocking over props. So you can't do that. Don't do that again. It's okay.
We're here to have casual conversations, to uplifting conversations, because you know what, Jay? When I turn on things and I need that. I need the words. I need the ideas to start rattling around it. When I turn on, of course, I don't even have TV. I have Netflix, which cuts commercials out because I don't want to see Big Fun College commercials or things that sue this person, because that is programming. People don't realize it. You program it in.
Yep.
So.
True.
The point, I don't know what point I was making there, but you're here with Jay Karlinski, and I don't want to put a label on you, Jay, because you're more than, teach yoga and teach other yoga trainers, and you're doing so many things. but it's really the thought process that makes it the most interesting, right?
Sure, absolutely.
You're bringing up a completely. This is not a normal. If I could grab people off the street in Hoboken, we're not talking like this.
It's true, very true.
Okay, so it's refreshing to hear. Take a sip off. ADD. Well, the whole school system, Jay's got to be revamped because it's all antiquated, and the kids are bored because I don't think the teachers really are. During my class, I know, and I'm sure during your class, I got to hustle. They're ready to throw me to the wolves like this. I mean, there's zero. It's just the atmosphere is not hostile, but they want to be pushed right from the bat. They're willing to. The teachers are facing that same. The kids don't want to learn history. They don't know why they want to learn it. Even calculus, I've been trying to brush up on calculus. Okay, and all that.
How's that going?
Obviously, guys, if you don't know me, and a lot of people don't know, I went to, they say I'm in the 1% because I went to Joseph Brand School. They say, Mike, you don't know, you had a silver spoon, born in your ass. Is that how it goes? No, my mouth.
Or else.
Okay. Honestly, no, I'm the youngest of 4. Brand School, horrible. They were just like, guys, don't fight. I'm going to see you guys later. And that's what happened from 1st to 8th grade. So my schooling was not really that good. But why? Because if they were like, Mike, you're going to make a ton of cash. You're going to make money like this. You're going to be able to influence the world if you learn this. You have to sell the idea, especially to children, why they're going to learn it.
Yeah.
And I just mentioned calculus because there was a reason why it was created. It was created just to figure out basic things, like how can math doesn't lie, so I can figure out the distance of the sun by using a triangle because it's going to equal to 180 degrees on the inside. I know this distance, I know these 2 angles, so I can tell you how far the sun is. If they told me that, then I would try to learn calculus.
Sure.
But they don't start it in that position. Or writing. How important has writing been for the kids out there? If you can write, you're going to crush it. You're going to learn. You're going to be able to do so many things in so many different careers, and it's just a great skill. You should have told me that, Jay.
That's true.
They were like, Mike, you're punished. Please write. I'm not going to do this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Adrian's falling asleep, so I'm going to try to pick it up. I'm just falling asleep.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's time for our sponsor.
Oh, damn it.
Please.
Okay. Hey guys out there, a lot of times you want to look your best, you want to feel your best. So it's important to work on the details, to work on the things that the ladies are going to pick up. Listen, guys, let me talk to you for real. They're looking at like this guy from True Blood. They're looking at who else? The guy Ryan Gosling, right? Ryan Gosling. These guys are getting prepped. They got makeup people. They have their abs drawn on. They got the glycerin, the arm butter. You don't have that. You're at a natural disadvantage. So what you can really do is set yourself off from the rest of the crowd, guys. And the way to really do that is to go bare. Okay, go bare for men. The new painless waxing product for guys out there who just need a little edge, just over the competition. Bare for men. Good. What's happening, guys? Michael Andreula for Bare for Men.
Thank you. There we go.
You want to wax yourself. You want to be smooth like a little. I was going to say llama, but that's not.
Smooth as a baby llama.
Like a mouse. You want to be Bare for Men, guys. You want to be smooth.
You got
like a
15
little
seconds.
marsupial. That's our sponsor, Jay.
Fair for men.
It's waxing strips, and they're good. I mean,
They're from Australia.
They're from Australia.
It must be good.
I mean, come on.
I mean, if you think about it, that's true.
Yeah.
How good are Mel Gibson? Oh, that's bad. No.
Ooh.
Kelly Slater? No, he's from America.
Russell Crowe, maybe?
Russell Crowe.
Outback Steakhouse? Foster's? Foster's beer?
They say that's real crap. They also say
That's
that
true,
Uggs.
yeah. They don't
They're
drink-
like,
they don't
why
drink
do you
that
like
shit.
Uggs? Because those are like what we sell at Payless.
That's funny.
Yo, just focus on the product.
Australia. That's fantastic.
How many coming there?
Oh. with 16 different waxing strips, 8, so they can reverse them, you have maximum efficiency to pull the hair away, stick it on again, pull it away. All of a sudden, you go from, I don't know,
From bear to llama?
No, from hair to lava. From hair to bear.
Thanks, Mike.
Se habla español too, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
oh, damn it. Yo quieres. I don't even know.
Yo quiero.
Yo quiero. Bear for men.
Gracias.
Alright, good. Sorry. They're not going to sponsor us ever again. After this.
It's a one-shot deal.
We're going to need a new sponsor.
Nice.
We're going to need a new entrepreneur to hoodwink every week. So let's get out there. What are you pushing? Okay, Monterey. Listen. They're gone. We're going to get down.
Acai berry
The
Dr.
dollar
Phil's.
store. Go to the dollar store. Get some tinfoil. Back to it, guys. We have to pay the bills, guys. We got about $30,000 worth of debt. It's not on our backs, but we got to make some good content so we can do this more often.
Sure.
Jay, so you're out there. Talk us maybe quickly through the process of becoming open, and how can I become more open? How can I become more consistent? So some days I wake up, I feel like crappy. I don't feel good. It takes a lot to get me, like mental preparation, to get me teaching or doing whatever I'm doing productive and doing it feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a shortcut to consistency?
Great question. If there is, I haven't found it yet.
Shortcut to enlightenment. that's
Shortcut to
what we need.
enlightenment. Yeah, it's the fast lane.
There's
The easy
gotta be.
pass lane.
There has to be.
It's tough. I think, even for myself, I definitely can struggle at times with consistency, and but I know without a doubt, when I'm consistent in my practice or with working out or my diet, I feel better in all ways. I feel better physically, better mentally, better spiritually, and I think that, the more I can commit myself to rolling out the mat or going to the gym or whatever else I'm going to do, or even be outside to ride my bicycle, whatever it is, just to get the body moving a bit, the payback is almost automatic. So, and I know that's easier said than done, and life comes up and people got obligations and everything else, but for me at the end of the day, I think that every time I do any kind of physical activity, I'm investing in my own health for the future. And we spend so much time these days thinking about investing for finances and our accounts or our real estate, whatever else it may be, but all that stuff's worth nothing if you're not there to enjoy it. You don't have the health to really back it up. So I think our investment should start with our physical health and really go from there, because without a doubt, when I get to 80 years old, I want to be sitting up nice and tall as opposed to being crouched over. And I think that payoff starts now. When however old I am or anybody else is, today's the day to start whatever you're going to start on to really get on the path. So when you get to the older age, you can live it and be vital as opposed to really being hurt and in a tough situation.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of older guys there. I'm thinking Steve Maxwell. I'm thinking Jack LaLanne. It was LaLanne, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy's a badass.
He was a badass.
If you watch some of his videos,
He just passed away.
I know, but I'm saying how old was that guy?
Yeah,
He was
90?
upper 90s, I think.
He's breaking down stuff in his living room with his dog. He had a show, and the shit he's saying in that show. I'm sorry, curse with that, but no, I can curse, right? We're adults.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Okay.
This is on Disney. Okay, sorry. The
other
stuff
Disney.
he's saying is exactly the same information that you're supposed to be hearing today. Almost 99%.
Yeah.
He was 100% right. He was saying back then, and what are you gonna do? They just nobody listened to him.
Yeah,
as much.
absolutely.
Or they do listen to you. The thing is, you get to a lot of people, but those people usually are more affluent. They have more. It's the people that are timed. They have 3 kids. They're just not paying attention to themselves. They're eating bad food. They get diabetes. The doctors are saying the wrong thing. They're giving them medication on that. I mean, I hate to just beat down doctors because I believe there's certain times you need somebody that's highly trained for particular procedures, but to abdicate all the responsibility to the doctor as if he would know everything. He can't look at every research paper. He has to make assumptions. And you start getting caught in these cycles where you're just completely unhealthy and you can't pull yourself out of it. But I don't want to really go off on that tangent too much. What can they do? Let's not even talk about them. They're probably not watching this, Jay. I mean,
They turned this off already.
This is going on. We're talking before this. I have South Koreans watching this. People in Ukraine, Netherlands, a lot of different countries. I mean, as soon as I break that language barrier, we're going to get South America. So we're talking the whole world out here, one piece, want unity, want to push it, and it all starts doing small things, right? Starting up small ideas, and something that's hugely fascinating that you were telling me about, because I like retreats. I think, why not invest in a retreat instead of going on a vacation? Like a Carnival cruise is great, but what am I taking out of it? And then you started telling me about the best man competition.
Man of the year.
Man of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You started telling me about the Man of the Year competition. How did you start getting the ball rolling on that?
Sure.
What was the idea behind it?
So years ago, 2008, all my buddies, we'd spend the weekends down the Jersey Shore, going out all the time, having a great time together. We were young and free, and it was just a fun time in our life. And we would always get together. We always would play, frisbee on the beach, or we play football, and it was always fun to just compete against each other and just play. So we got this idea to create a day out of it called the Man of the Year. And we have 10 events that would test every level of what it really means to be a man. So it's not just about who's the most athletic guy or who's the strongest, but who's the most well-rounded, who can, who's got a little bit of athleticism, who's got speed, who's got strength, but also who's got intelligence and who's got some man skills, So when we put it all together, we came up with just hysterically funny events. Everything from a sprinting race down the a track, which is funny for a bunch of almost 30-year-old guys. How often was the last time you ran 100 yards, But we did a Dunkin' Donuts munchkin eating contest the one year. We did a parallel parking contest. And, each year what we do is we evolve the event, so we make it different each time. So guys come back and it's fresh each year. And, when they come, we have this big giant scoreboard, so you see your name on the scoreboard, and it's awesome because when you do well in an event, your name goes up, and you're passing your buddies. But what sucks bad when you go lose, because all of a sudden your name's plummeted down, But it's just a fun day to just have it all guy day, So what we do now is we've got a place out in the woods where we've got a camp set up with tents and beds are set up for you where you come out and it's all set up ready. So there's events all day. We test all kinds of different events, and we have an intelligence test where you'll sit down and take like a 20-minute written test, which is hysterical though, because it's funny because you find out all of your events who's the smartest guy, but you also find out who's the dumbest guy, and everything in between.
You guys assess each other.
It's so funny. It's great.
Mike's a doctor. I'm worried.
It's funny because me and my buddy, we did real well one year, so we were busting all the other guys. We're like, when we talk in front of them, we'll use small words so they can understand what we're talking about. But it's even with this,
the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Around.
But it's it's just a cool time because
like a kickback to remember the movie Old School?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get back into it, right? You're doing a bunch of competitions, dance competition, wrestling, jelly wrestling. No, I'm not saying doing KY wrestling, but the cool idea is getting that guys getting together again, having fun. Mm-hmm. What about, are the women going to get mad at the fact that, or they don't want to?
Well, what's great about it is, again, as we get older, most of my guys are married, they've got kids, and most wives are like, no way you're going away for the weekend. Who knows what you're going to be up to?
You're not going
out. Oh man, I was thinking, get out.
Yeah, you're on the other end of the spectrum. There are some guys' wives who give them a hard time about it, but the reality is when all the guys are coming to the woods by themselves, there's no women around, so there's no threat for so a lot of the guys make a deal. They say, give me this weekend, I'll give you a spa day or something like that. But, they come out, and as soon as every guy gets there, you park your car and you're on vacation with all your buddies, so it's the kind of thing that you never ever do. You never get the chance to go on vacation with all your guy friends where no one's got any obligations, no one's got to do any shit, and you can just hang out and have fun.
Yeah, the problem is you need somebody that can facilitate this, almost like set it up. Like I get 10 guys together and then we go to a place that you're running or something.
Exactly.
So that's what you're going to do.
That's the whole premise behind it. It's not for single guys, it's for big groups of guys. So if you and 10, 15, 20, 30 of your buddies want to get together, you come to our place and it's all set up for you. We got the tent set up, we got the bed set up, food set up, everything's all done for you, plus the events all day long. And what's fun about it, we make it unique and fitting for each group of guys because we give you the chance with your group to vote on which events you're going to come into. So we create some of the events and then you and your boys are going to tailor it to make it exactly what you want it to be. So when you get there, you're doing events that you guys wanted to do. And again, you're going to compete head to head. So it's one guy gets first and one guy gets last each event. But what's beautiful about it is if you suck at one event, say a wiffle ball home run derby is not your thing and you suck at it, it's over in 45 minutes, you're on to something new. So you're right back in the hunt. So it's really, really fun. Plus we do like this thing with it's like a big yellow t-shirt that says current leader. So throughout the day, whoever's in first place gets to wear the current leader jersey. It's, just a little extra bit of juice makes it even sweeter.
what about eating? What am I gonna eat?
So the food, it's we've done this for years now and tried to really figure out what's the best way to do it. And we found we're going to give you all the food. It's going to be catered. So Saturday morning, a nice light breakfast because we're going to go right into the heavy events. Lunchtime catered, Saturday night dinner catered, and then again Sunday morning another catered breakfast with tea, coffee, and Sunday morning's really sweet because it gives us a chance to just sit around and bullshit about all the funny laughs from the day before.
That's awesome.
And Saturday night after a long day of competing, we sit around, have a big campfire, and just chill out. And again, it's sweet because no one's leaving. Everyone has to stay over the night. So we do that to cut down when no one drives out. So everyone stays really a part of the whole event till the end of the morning of Sunday morning. So when Sunday morning comes, everyone's been through this whole experience together, and the odds of people coming back next year are phenomenal because you've had such a good time, and maybe you got 6th place, and next year you are killing yourself to get 5th or 4th or 3rd or even 1st. And it's really fun to just be able to compete and measure yourself up against the other guys in just fun, light competition. So, today there's so many popularity with these mud races that are really cool if that's what you're into, but, this is not that. This is not something you got to train for. This is for the every guy to just show up and with your friends and just do it and have fun. So we keep it very low impact to 0 impact if you choose. So it's healthy for everybody. We got guys with bad knees, bad backs, bad arms, but you come and you compete anyway, and you find if one thing you can't do, it's no big deal because you're right back in the competition the next thing you do.
And during this time, it's probably
There for that.
it's probably important that you look your best. I'm not saying it's going to change the outcome of the event, but swimmers shave their body. In the future,
Every second counts.
scientists say we won't have any hair. Get it started now. Bare for Men, with 8 different strips that have 2 sides of painless, pain-free wax.
Summer 2014, baby.
Summer 2014. Maybe if it goes well with these promos, they're going to say, let's sponsor.
Fair for making sponsor man of the year. I like that.
That would be hilarious, actually. Honestly, I know they don't get so mad at this, but that should be an event.
What?
That should
Speed
be an event.
waxing?
No. We should give away. We should give away. This would work really well with this event, Jay. They're Hoboken. This is Hoboken. Figure out the number for 10 people to go on this trip, and then we have a contest that who's going to look the best before and after using the Bare for Men sponsored, videotaped before and afters.
We should name it the Bear for Men of the Bear. Wait,
Bear Man of the Year.
No, Bear for Men of the Year.
Yeah, think about it.
Okay.
Think about it. I could see it over at the.
Jay's like, okay, here.
Man of the year got gay real quick. Waxing a
I
chest.
don't think there's no way that you're going to look.
Don't sabotage my shit.
There's no way.
You got some body oil next. You just oil each other up. It'll be awesome.
Guys,
It's great
hey,
competition.
If you can't do this, then you're not gonna. You got this as like the physical challenge. Do you want the physical
The
challenge?
physical challenge. Double dare.
Double dare.
It's double there. Let's get that way. Craziest thing, he had OCD.
Mark Summers.
Yes, he could not leave his house without each piece of the carpet being perfectly straight.
Oh, yeah, wow.
He works on Double Dare.
You remember?
They're
can you
throwing.
imagine?
They made that show to mess with.
That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine him going to the
throwing
pancakes,
fake bombs.
Oh my
looking
God.
for the flag?
Oh my god.
He
You gotta
doesn't
pick
shake
the
people's
nose,
hands.
pull out of the nose.
Yeah, you know it all
Incredible set.
perfectly.
That's absolutely incredible. He was able to tolerate that one with like the pizza. Like they were big pool. It's a pizza, and you have to lift up like the pepperoni.
Oh my god,
and
yeah.
fry it.
He must, on the inside, he must have just been boiling.
Oh, that's why he must have been so panicked in that bed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that should have been the show.
I'm sure they paid him good money though.
Yeah, no, definitely got a. It was a good show. I used to watch it.
I
Physical
watched
Challenge.
it all the time.
That was a great show.
Family Double Dare. Remember?
Oh yeah, family.
Family
there.
Double Dare.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that good. It was kind
That
of short.
was cool seeing like a fat dad.
Anyway.
fall.
It was always like, it was mom, like, about to
I think
cry.
it's fantastic, Jay. I think you should allow people to email you. Do you have an email or a site that they can go to particularly?
Yep.
For this?
Check it out, manoftheyear.co, C-O, no M, manoftheyear.co. And the video on there really gives a good explanation. You get a visual of what the whole event looks like, and it's the most fun day of the year. That's our shtick. It's the most fun day of the year. You and every single guy you come out for a vacation for 2 days. It's awesome.
You guys have a set date as of now?
Yeah, we started this summer, so we launch beginning of May. So every weekend from May until the end of October, there's weekends open. So look on the website, book your weekend.
That's extremely important. So don't wait. If you're the go-getter of the group, be the first one, because then as soon as the ball first one's the most critical in the group. They're going to send out the emails.
Exactly.
Bring everybody together. Boom, you got it booked. You got that to look forward to. And then
Use Bear for Men right before.
Gets quick strip down.
Strip down,
some
look
strips.
good. I'm not saying it's going to win the competition, but even if you're in last place, you're going to look good as hell.
It can't hurt.
You know?
And you're still a winner.
Like this guy, Mike is the dumbest, slowest weakling I've ever seen. But he looks
But damn,
great.
he's chased.
He got no hair.
Yeah,
He's slick.
But damn, he is smooth.
He's
Isn't
like
he?
a baby kangaroo. That's not smooth either. Damn it.
Their pouches.
There's not a lot of smooth animals.
Dolphin.
Dolphins are smooth.
Yeah.
What you got there, Jay?
It's just Erica. She's saying she's just getting home now from her thing. Should she come, or do you think we'll just probably do this the whole time? I don't want to make her come down.
Yeah, I probably say she'd just get mad at you if she's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? What are you talking about?
Well, only because
She's been running around.
after like 1, it's all shadows because the sun needs
What
to
about
come
shooting
into
in the studio?
What?
What about shooting in Devotion or in, what's it called?
Could do
Sorry.
that at any time.
Surrey.
Yeah, Surrey would be good. They got.
Jay, I've been working on a new character, and it's going to be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's going to be so funny. And we're still rolling, right? You stopped it? Don't worry about the food, guys. You got to push and believe.
You like
You stop recording?
No.
You don't understand.
I'm thinking
When I was
Korean
born,
food
they took
right
me
now. I'm
there.
thinking
There's
pasta.
3 beds. They're like, you sleep over there. I had to be super sensitive, quiet in my own spot, so I hear that type of stuff. What was I talking about? See?
You were talking about
We
4
were talking
brothers, 3
about-
beds.
No, before.
The conundrum that was your life.
No, we're
was
talking
so
about
smart.
the dates for.
And then
No
keep
smooth
going.
animals.
Oh, but then
Smooth
smooth
animals.
animals because I said right before your competition that weekend.
Oh, I know. I remember.
Then you got to use your Bear for Men.
And this is how my mind works. I want to do a funny character called Michael. Okay? And I'm going to be, I want to do it in front of a hot yoga class. I'm going to come in the black. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
Bikram?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a ponytail. I'm going to do this with the headband. And I'm going to start by doing, what's the prayer that it's like, not, damn. It's like, it's pretty common to hear it a lot. It's, something,
Oh, Gregorian chants.
Aki, something. Aki.
I'm not sure.
Soki lo, something like that. Soki.
Suki no Baban too.
Soki. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, Suki no
What
Baban
does
too.
that mean? That's really.
I can't
Um,
believe Jay just.
It's a loose.
You
I mean,
deciphered
I'm
that?
giving you a very
Deciphered
loose
it.
translation. It's like Babantu is almost the word for the representation of God and universal power. So it's like may the power of the universe be with you.
Sure. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to get my Indian accent down pat. And I don't know, this could be offensive to you, but I'm going to start out with the chant. So let's do Om, Om, Om. And then I'm going to start with my version of it from Microm, which is Microm, copyright is a federal offense, 1997. Because I've been watching him.
Yeah.
And I've been watching, in my opinion, he's a madman. No?
Yeah.
Are you going to get in trouble for this?
No, I'm not gonna try. I mean, I don't know him. I don't know who he is, but you know, it's crazy that there's people trying to copyright and trademark different parts of the yoga practice.
You
It's nuts.
haven't seen him teach?
No. Does he say that?
He is out of his mind. He is so funny to me. I mean, this isn't funny to be in class at all, but he's like, hey, sound guy, fuck you, buddy. I'm like, what? I cannot believe it. I couldn't believe it. He's teaching, he's on a throne like this, Jay. And he's got a duct. And there's no way that's a hot air duct. That's definitely
He
an
has
air
a
conditioner.
little air conditioner duct pointed right on him.
That's
Everyone
funny.
else
He's
is
like, you
sweating.
want me to do a demonstration? No. I've been doing demonstration 6 class already, buddy. And then it's like I'm laughing my ass off. He's got Skittles here. It's like me in my
That's
living
funny.
room. But everybody's listening to him.
Right.
And I, it's funny that he wants to copyright it, but it's even funnier if I work it into class that as they're doing chants, they have to chant that I'm copyright infringement,
Right.
FBI,
FBI
1997.
will prosecute you.
Yeah. I thought it would be hilarious.
Go for it.
But you have, well, yeah, obviously you can't copyright it. I didn't know the history behind it, but you should watch it because it's quite funny. I
I'll
heard
check
he
it
was
out.
kicked out of your school.
Kripalu kicked him out.
I kicked him out is probably a bit strong. He was there for a while.
Disinvited him, I think, is the word. That
Just recently this happened?
I don't know. I just saw it in an
It
article.
definitely happened. He's getting sued.
I didn't look at the date.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, yeah, okay, I don't know.
He's got lawsuits, like bad ones, like things that are way beyond
Yeah,
yoga.
sure.
Copyright infringements, that's the last thing he's worried about.
Yeah.
But still, I want to give, maybe, he got to the point where he just he's got a lot of cash now. He's got 200 cars.
He does a lot of cars.
He's got a beautiful, maybe he just got to him. I don't know. The copyright thing.
Yeah.
It's so tough. It's like copywriting, kickboxing. It's they've been doing it since humans moved around.
Right, sure.
I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, it's funny, there's one of the companies that films yoga classes is now suing to get a trademark for setting up the camera in a specific way in the yoga room.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty.
Wow.
That's
I
pretty
call
detailed.
bullshit on
Yeah,
that because that's
that's a big thing right now.
Yeah, we invented
They're like, this is the shot we do, and you can't
No.
do it. It's like recording a yoga session.
It's tough. That's a tough, crazy litigation on workouts. Is nearly impossible. Anyway, I thought it'd be super funny. Obviously,
Bikram.
you got to be into hot yoga, and you have to have seen Bikram to think it was funny. And if I tell you that, you're gonna be like, "No, that's not true at all." But yes, he is. But to me, in his class, I'd be laughing. if I'm super tense and he's like, "Fuck, put your head on the floor, buddy." That to me is hilarious. Although I could see a lot of people getting offended at cursing. But it would be so funny if you do that. I'm in class, like, listen, put your head on that. Like, you do the fucking stretch, I'm gonna break your kneecaps. Just say it really quiet. Scare everybody.
All right.
We'll cut that out, Jay. That's not in the podcast. Open honesty. Well, how do you feel about even me saying that stuff, Jay? Is that getting you worried? Or you're like, oh no, my students are gonna see that? It's just jokes.
No, yeah, it's just jokes. No. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have no experience with Bikram. I have taken Bikram yoga plenty of times, but
But is he a big enough figure that it's like Billy Blanks? I make fun of Billy Blanks on the daily. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's a great guy. But he's kind of like, he's up there. He's a superstar now. So I feel like I can
take a jab at him.
Yeah, Dylan was here. He's doing the done before. That would be perfect.
That would have been perfect, yeah.
Dub that in later.
So where are you going yourself, Jay, in this evolution? I mean, I wanted to talk about Peru, but we're going to be restricted on talking about that on the podcast. But where are you spiritually going as far as every day? It's a climb. You're starting over every day. Do you get that sense? Are you in the moment often? Are you in the future? How's your thought process? Are you happy, content?
Sure.
Want more?
You want more? That's a funny thing to say, but isn't that kind of a way to sum up our lifestyle, the way we live now? More, and it's easy to get caught up in that pressure of the pace of society. So for me, it was funny because I just moved back to Hoboken just about 2 years now, and before that I was living at the yoga center in Massachusetts for over 2 years, where every single day just yoga all around me. So it's very easy to live in a place like that and be fully immersed in it and really be in that moment. Much more challenging is to step out into a place like Hoboken or any city or any town you live in where there's a million more distractions. It's much harder to find that same present moment awareness in when there's more distractions, quite simply. So, for me to have the gift and the experience to be able to live in a place like that and really incubate myself and study and practice and try to live a real yogic lifestyle, again, very easy when I'm facilitated by a cleaning staff that clean the building and cooks and that create great food and dishwasher and all the other things. So that stuff was taken care of. So life is a lot easier there, and I've got no rent to pay because I'm living at the place. So a lot of the pressures that we live in are very real in our life were just not existent for that period of my life. And it was a great chance to just really dive into it and see that, for me, yoga is great because it's been around for thousands of years, and for something to last that long, there's got to be something to it. I think literally they've got pictures of people in a cave 3000 BC sitting in a meditative seat. And what they were doing as yoga is way different from what we're doing now. And they didn't have classes and yoga teachers and all this other thing. It was much more of a solitary practice, but a practice nonetheless that people committed themselves to it over years and decades. They saw without a doubt the effects of it. And if I think about what life was like 5,000 years ago, I think can be very busy. You know, I think I'd have a lot of time to just be chilling. But even then, there's this inner desire to create stillness and to go inside. So now, as we look at our society today in 2014 America, close to New York City, it's crazy how much stimulation is happening. And even if we try to close ourselves off from it, it's all around us. You can't get away from it. You know, I took the path over to New York City the other day, and as I was on the train, I just looked around, and every single person on the train had earphones on and was looking at their iPhone or their smartphone, whatever it is. And that wasn't the case even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. There was none of that. And you know, now how immersed we are with electronics and computers, it's much harder to find that stillness and find that present moment. But I think it's more important now than ever, because as we become more and more disconnected from it, the urge and the desire and the need for it grows stronger and stronger. So for me, it's about simple practices, like what can I do in my life that will guide me to that path. And a teacher that I read all his books on, Robin Sharma, I don't know if you're familiar with this stuff, but he's about how can we really make the most out of our days and how can we get the most out of our life and what can we actually practice to get better at it. So it's not just a fluke. You know, some people live great lives, but a lot of people live great lives because they work to live great lives and they put the time and the effort into cultivate practices and characteristics that will stay with them. So what Robin Sharma talks about is he says, you know, create a schedule that you can, not to map out every single second of your day, but like what can you commit yourself doing at first thing in the morning when you wake up or the middle of your day. So, you know, meditation or yoga practice doesn't just happen occasionally. You know that on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock you're going to sit down for 10 minutes and meditate. Or, you know at Wednesday at lunchtime that's when your yoga classes you're going to.
Can I interrupt you?
Please.
How the hell do I meditate? Because I get the things, I go online. This was a couple of years ago, Wayne Dyer. He's like, I gotta do these chants so that I make a lot of money. So I'm waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, not disturbing people, and doing chants. I'm like, what is meditation? What does that mean?
Sure.
The only way I've gotten close to it is, and I failed to mention this earlier, I thought it was quite profound out of this brain, but probably not. Your body is in the present all the time. Like if you're in pain, you're in the present moment right now. Your mind likes to drift, so you use your body to bring your mind into now.
Sure.
By getting it tired, working it out, and then at the end of a workout, that's the closest I ever feel to meditation. Am I supposed to be able to induce that like this? Like I just
turn it on?
Yeah.
Sure. That's certainly way easier said than done. You know, it's not just going to come naturally to us.
Am I supposed to close my eyes and then like I'm not going to have a thought?
Sure. It's a great question. So the way I define meditation, and it's, again, I'm not from a school of thought where it's got to be this and it's not this. You know, it's got to be what really makes sense for me as the individual person. How can I use this ancient wisdom to really make it work for me? So it's not about trying to find someone else's meditation, but how can I find a tactic and a technique that's going to bring a little quietness to my mind? So for me, through yoga, the breath has been the greatest doorway into meditation. So meditation is not about trying to...
something.
I will. So meditation is not about trying to stop the mind from thinking thoughts, but it's about trying to choose which thoughts to follow and which thoughts to simply let pass by. Right? So by accessing the breath, we focus the mind on the inhale and focus the thinking mind on the exhale. And if we can maintain that repetition over and over again, it begins to let all those other thoughts begin to melt away. So the brain can really only hold one concept at the very same time. So if we commit it to focusing on the breath, it doesn't have the tendency to begin to wander off, right? So it's almost like metaphors like a boat in a lake. You tie the boat to the dock. So just like the brain, the boat's going to start to drift off into the stream, but the rope is there to pull it back. So in this case, the breath we use as the rope to pull the mind back into the present moment, right?
That's a great visualization right there.
So
can you teach us right now? We can all do a little breathing exercise.
Let's do an easy breath. This is a really easy one, pretty accessible for most people. So bring your hands right onto your belly, your lower belly. So this is called a 3-part breath, a Dirga breath. So it's a great breath to encourage a full exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So we really begin to breathe through a full capacity. So with your hands on your breath, on your belly, take an inhale, let your belly expand into your hands like a balloon. As you exhale, press the belly into your spine. A couple times like that. Inhale, get big. Exhale, squeeze in. So if your nose is clogged, you can do this through your mouth, but if it's available, breathe in through your nose. And exhale through the nose. Good, now bring the hands up to your side ribs, a little higher. So there's the second part. So as you inhale, feel your belly expand, and then the ribs get wide into your hands. And as you exhale, the ribs come together and the belly draws in. So both parts of this breath. So again, inhale your belly, then your ribs. And you exhale, ribs and belly. Now last one, bring your hands up to your upper chest, your upper collarbones. And take an inhale, your belly, then your ribs, then your chest lifts into your hands. As you exhale, chest, ribs, and belly draw in. So it falls back towards the floor. So again, inhale, belly, then ribs, and chest. And exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Good, a couple more now. Just relax your hands. Now take the same breath and let the breath move through your body. So it goes breath, ribs, and chest. And exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Good, so now just let that go. So I'll say a couple things about it. So the benefit of this breath is it trains the body to use the full capacity of the lungs. So throughout our stressed day, so often we're really restricted in the breath. We're taking very short, shallow breaths. So to begin to train the body to actually use the full capacity gives us just a lot more of the benefits from the full deep breath. And
I get like not the word isn't lightheaded. I almost get like euphoric.
Sure.
Is that wrong?
No, it's a result of this increased level of oxygen in your blood. So by taking these full, deliberate, full breaths, suddenly the body's getting more than it's used to, and it's whoa, what's this all about? So
It feels good. It feels sinful.
it's definitely not sinful. It's not that. It's not that. Well, maybe it is. I don't know what's going on over there. But
Try this.
Feels sinful.
No. Honestly, that breathing exercise is so powerful, and it's rarely explored. Just breathing. How about that? Like if I went to a therapist, they're not going to say, "Why don't you breathe?" They're just like, "Tell me what your parents did to you." Like, if maybe I need to breathe for a second.
everybody needs to breathe. You know, I
do that in class. I'm like, breathe.
It would be a great prescription for every person in the world. You know, take 10 minutes a day to commit to your breath, and it would dramatically change the health of tons and tons of people if we actually, really focused and committed to doing that.
I feel like Captain Obvious so many times. Like, why am I saying breathe? Is that the best I can come up with? But honestly, that is the best piece of advice.
Sure.
But giving a systematic way, you start with the belly, ribs
chest,
and then bring it together. Because it's a system, a lot of people can hook into that, and we'll make a short version of that for people with social anxiety.
Yep.
Probably the guy from Double Dare would benefit from this.
Or something.
Put them on blast like that.
But I think it's incredibly important. I think there should be a large series, a collection of those short ones. That's something I would tap into. A lot of people would tap into it because they're desperate, looking for answers. And breathing's so simple, cheap, and as of right now, the air quality is good enough that we can enjoy it.
Sure.
Without being scared on that.
For a limited time.
Good air quality is important. Certainly, good grooming is important, guys. If you want
Great
to
segue.
be like Kevin Costner, if you want to be, and you laugh at that, The Bodyguard, Waterworld, Dancing with Wolves, Academy Award winner,
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
There you go.
Who else am I thinking of? Kevin Costner. Who else was there in that running? Super good-looking 80s rock star, bare chest. The guy from
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Yes, Tom Cruise. Smooth. So you think Tom Cruise? He's too short.
Days
He
of
can't be an
Thunder, baby.
actor.
Of course.
You're
Top
never
Gun.
going to make it, Tom. You're not going to be able to push. All of a sudden, waxes. It's a clean cut. Remember Risky
Scientology.
Business? Okay. My point exactly. Bare for Men. 16 strips. Really 8 strips, but both sides reversible for your convenience.
Okay.
I'm
Thanks,
sure
man.
all the gentlemen in Magic Mike probably use Bear for
Yeah,
Men as
oh
well.
shit.
Channing Tatum.
Guys, don't waste your time working out and becoming 6'4" and getting ripped abs. Fake it with no. That's just fake it. I swear we need to get a big guy, do the circle, and then rotate it to somebody like Channing Tatum. Like he's got a 6-pack all of a sudden. He lifts up his shirt. That's how you're gonna sell this.
Bear for Men, stick on
Think about it, guys. Sponsor some events. I know it sounds silly, but guys, do worry about this. And bodybuilders, if you follow, it's crazy because I started bodybuilding. At least that's the process they taught me. Starve yourself, or not. Don't eat the pre-contest diet. Wear big sweatshirts. Only roll it up to your sleeves. Have no body hair. When you go out on the show, if you were to leave your arms hairy, you would be disguising it because you're doing this whole process, this whole charade for ripped abs, right? To look chiseled. But you're not gonna polish the car after. We're Bare for Men, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna have a Ferrari, but then I'm gonna have some, bullshit paint job.
The finishing touch.
We need a new sponsor, guys. This is honestly like Tom Cruise's movie, the NASCAR, when he's just losing sponsors.
Days of Thunder.
What's the Spanish version of Wonder Bread? Oh, it's not.
Bimbo?
Is it
Bimbo.
Bimbo? That's actually.
You see, he said it with a good accent.
Bimbo.
Bimbo.
So, guys,
Wait,
check
you
us
want
out.
Bimbo to
I think,
sponsor?
Jay, I think we should
You just
wrap
lost
this
another
thing up.
sponsor.
This is good. We can keep this coming along. This isn't something we're going to stop. Information is going to change the world. Not necessarily everything we said, but the breathing. So if you take the breathing away, I feel like this is more valuable than most of the crap you've been probably watching. So even if you watch the State of the Union, okay, even if you watch State, what are you going to do about it? You didn't do anything. You watched it, you're like, yeah, good. That's fantastic. This, Obama should have been like, everybody, let's do some moves here that you can take home. Something you could do. I'm just saying, this is probably more important than the State of the Union.
I like that.
And
10 minutes of breath, every
Yeah.
citizen in America.
And just Justin Bieber is not being charged in Florida, right?
No.
Cool. Free the beef. All right, guys. So, Michael Andreula for Jay Karlinski. Have a fantastic life. What's going to be our closing statement here, Jay?
Our hook line.
Yeah. It's great. It's taken up.
It's what?
It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
That's a good transition.
Fade to black.
Any social
Oh yeah,
media?
you got to give. This is the thing. This is the thing. And we need to do more seminars. Kristen Manjone, who was just in here earlier, is doing. It's basically entrepreneurial stuff. This Saturday. It's the Year of the Horse, Chinese calendar. That's how I talk. It's little bits and pieces. Stay with me.
I'm with it.
It's also the element wood. So we got growth, we got speed, we got power. She's into this stuff. She's pushing it. She just started out having the class. She started coming to the reboot camps. This could happen it's the best man.
Man of the year.
Man of the year. This could happen with her, where something inspires them. And now she's setting up seminars. She's working on a business, releasing podcast. So on Saturday at 4 o'clock, she's having a bunch of entrepreneurs in this type of genre together. I'm going to talk. I'm going to warm the crowd up, okay? And just different sharing ideas on exactly what we talked about, because we need to get the green energy away from the people that are currently getting green energy, because they're not going to be doing nice things with it. What would I do if I had $1 billion, Adrian? I would get food delivered to you right now.
I would love that.
I would do breathing.
And
My
I would
State
keep
of the
the
Union
change.
would be literally a class. Like, I'm the president, I'm going to work you guys out. Enough's enough. Let's work out right now. Get in the streets, start cleaning things immediately. That's my
I like that. It's a good pitch.
pitch. Let's do this. Okay? We're a community. South Korea. Name them out, Jay, because I'm telling you, they're watching.
Social
Norway.
media, buddy.
Thailand.
Thailand, maybe not that language barrier. The Thai haven't really learned the English as much. South Korea, though, yeah.
Cool. Australia.
Ukraine,
Australia, yeah.
Keep pushing.
New Zealand.
New Zealand pushing. Who else we got? England.
India.
India.
They
India's
love
big.
customer service now.
I'm telling you, they like me. And a lot of, they like, I think, no, they don't really know me that much, but a couple Indians do. Like, I know in Hoboken. Let's cut this off, guys, before. Thank you
Before it
to our
gets too racist.
sponsor for Bare for Men. Honestly, we joke a lot, but it could help you out in some particular ways. And if we had a good sponsorship deal, we could better bring a lot of buzz. So just look at this, guys, as the pilot. We will produce much better content. Maybe we'll use it next time. Okay.
Next time. There's always next time.
Right. I'm going to
And
finish
get
up.
your websites and your.
Oh, please go to michaelandrula.com, where you can basically just watch videos of me and not do anything else. No, you can follow me on. Best thing to do. The funnest thing is Twitter right now. I do most fun stuff. Everything else is conservative. Twitter, I can mix it up a little bit. So at mikeandrula.com, ANDREULA. Doesn't really pronounce the way it's spelled. So I question if I even say it right. Andreola. How do you pronounce that?
Whatever you say, you
How
got
would
it.
you guys pronounce that? Andreula.
In English?
Yes.